Now, here's an interesting thing about human taste buds that I've just recently started learning about. I want to say there are around 5 tastes that your tongue experiences, that your taste buds experience. You have saltiness. Saltiness. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. You have saltiness, sourness. So saltiness, or no, actually, no, forget saltiness. You have sour, sweet, sour, sweet, bitter, savory, and umami. I think those are the 5 tastes that your taste buds experience. So bitterness actually has could actually have a really important contribution to a recipe, depending on what else is in the recipe. So dandelion greens are very, very bitter. Normally speaking, they're very bitter. Believe it or not, in France, they have come up with a type of dandelion green that is not bitter at all, but is actually very mellow. But that comes from cross-pollination and some sort of genetic engineering. But real dandelion greens, they tend to be very bitter. Or dandelion greens that you find in the wild, they tend to be very bitter. But dandelion greens are they're very bitter. So you need something to balance it out. So you make a sweet mustard vinaigrette. And the sweet and sour flavor from the mustard vinaigrette, it harmonizes with the bitterness of the dandelion. And when you have bitterness, sweetness, and sourness combined, they create a unique experience for your taste buds. If you have just bitterness, it's not pleasant at all. If you have just sweetness, then it's overwhelming and actually quite nauseating for your brain and for your stomach. If you have complete sourness, then it's not a pleasant experience at all, because you're just going to be puckering up your mouth all the time. But when you have bitterness, sourness, and sweetness all coming together and all alive, it's actually quite a pleasant experience, and it makes a distinct flavor for your taste buds. It's kind of like how the Chinese utilize Sichuan peppercorns. Now, in the West, we have traditional black peppercorns. Black peppercorns provide a unique flavor for any sort of dish, but black peppercorns don't have a numbing feeling. They don't leave a numbing feeling to your tongue and to the insides of your mouth. But Chinese Sichuan peppercorns do. Even though I'm pretty sure Sichuan peppercorns are related to black peppercorns, they both have very different experiences. Black peppercorns taste like black pepper. It's a very unique flavor that's difficult to describe. It's just a black pepper flavor, which is very good. Adds somewhat of a kick, adds somewhat of a spiciness to it. But the Sichuan Chinese peppercorns are not just spicy. They leave a numbing flavor, not even a flavor. It's a numbing feeling or a numbing sensation on your tongue and on the inner parts of your mouth. And when you take, if you take black peppercorns just by themselves and you eat them, and don't try this, I've done it before, it literally feels like you're eating poison. It feels like you're eating a poisonous plant, because it leaves it makes your tongue feel numb. You're like, oh, what the hell am I eating? I feel like I just took something toxic. And you actually did. I mean, plants, I think all plants, no matter how edible they are, do have some sort of degree of toxicity. Even tomatoes have a small degree of toxicity to them. But when you take red chili, dried red chili, and you slowly fry it in oil, and you mix in grounded Sichuan peppercorns into the mix, and then you take some thinly sliced pieces of cooked beef, and you pour that chili oil Sichuan mix on top of it, and then you taste it, and you have, in that whole recipe, you got soy sauce, oyster sauce, maybe a little bean paste, maybe a little bit of sugar. The sweetness from the sugar, the savoriness from the soy sauce, mixed in with the spiciness of the chili and the numbing sensation of the peppercorn, provides a unique eating experience that can be quite enjoyable once you get used to it. That numbing experience. It's almost like the food is fighting back, and you are in a challenge with that which you are eating. With that which you are eating. It's like you eat something good and it kicks back, and you enjoy the challenge. There is a very unique eating experience in consuming Sichuan peppercorns. It's like eating hot chili. Is eating hot chili by itself an enjoyable experience? Well, no. try taking a habanero and just taking a bite out of it. It's not like eating it's not like you're taking a bite out of an apple. It's not a very enjoyable experience. But mix that habanero with some garlic, with some onion, maybe a little bit of sugar, and you have the spiciness and the savoriness and maybe some bitterness with sweetness, with the spiciness, with the kick. It all comes together. It provides this unique eating experience, a little bit of challenge, a little bit of letting go, a little bit of resistance, all coming together. It's almost like a romantic comedy when the man and the women are rejecting each other, but at the same time revering one another, only in the end to conjoin in a perfect union. This, my friends, is the romantic reality of the experience of culinary exquisite consumption. This, my friends, is the art of food. For if you just take sugar, it is not enjoyable. You may taste sweetness and think, wow, sweetness is amazing. I really just want to eat sugar. Take some sugar and mix it into water and try drinking it. You feel like diabetes is nigh. Diabetes is about 5 minutes away. It's 5 minutes to midnight before you become a diabetic and your insulin levels kick in and you got to take some shots to keep yourself alive. Eating just sugar is not an enjoyable experience. But what happens when you have a little bit of chocolate? Pure cocoa. It's bitter. Pure cocoa is not really sweet. It is bitter. But take some pure cocoa, mix it with sugar, mix it with milk. The creaminess of the milk, the bitterness of the chocolate, the sweetness from the sugar, all coming together provide a balance of flavors that give you a unique experience. This is the art of food. Just like watching a good film where you have action, tragedy, death, but then at the end, victory. It just makes that victory feel sweet and well-deserved. But if victory comes to you without a challenge, then it does not feel deserved, and therefore the sensation of happiness that would emanate from your mind as a result of that victory does not truly manifest itself. So truly in food, we find the secret to life. Happiness that is obtained after going through resistance. Hence why spiciness and numbness truly contribute to the greatness of a dish. That, my friends, is the explanation and the elucidation and the unlocking of the treasure of true culinary sensation and experience.